Jenny McCarthy Show. Oh!
God's Not Dead, A Light in the Darkness. You guys, it's in theaters Friday. Tatum O'Neal. Okay, so
that's Good Friday.
Good Friday.
Very Christian.
For all you Christians out there. What attracted you to the project?
I thought it was a really good script. I thought it was, first of all, I'm holding up the mic. I guess it's fine. I thought that it was universal to all audiences. I didn't think it was just a Christian movie. I thought it was well written, and it was fun to sort of play an administrator. You know, I'd never done that.
I'm surprised you haven't done that because I feel like you've done everything.
I haven't done everything. There's so many more things that I need to do.
Where do you stand with religion personally?
Well, when I was little, my mom, God bless her, she's passed away, but she got into some evangelist stuff. And I wasn't baptized. Thank you, actor parents from the 60s. They just forgot or something. And that scared my brother and I. And they tried to heal my brother. He had a bump on his leg, and he got taken up to the stage. And so that kind of turned me off for a while.
I bet.
And then as I kind of got into my own trouble with myself and sort of changing the way you feel, because I didn't feel happy inside. And that's really what addiction is. It's not feeling good about yourself. It's not like some party thing. I think that the idea is it's really it's a really sad sort of tragic way of just dealing with pain. And so then I really relied on a higher power, on God. And I really saw God actually save my life.
I 100% feel the same way.
And I really, really believe that. He really saved my life. So now I pray and stuff. And my best friend got me this diamond cross that I wear every day. So I have a big.
We always have those moments, and I know yours was at that low point where you got on your knees and you were like, God, please
get me to treatment.
Yes, and then you found yourself going to treatment.
I was the next morning, literally on my way to treatment. It was great.
And it's for anyone that doesn't I was raised Catholic and I was scared of burning in hell forever. I finally dropped those oh my God, I wouldn't go to bed at night until I said 60 Our Father, 60 Hail Mary, 60 Angel of God. I was OCD.
Wow.
Thinking I was going to burn in a pit of flames. Then finally,
because
in my
that's
20s,
what they do, right? That's what.
Yes.
It's just it's like a
mind fuck,
or it's like a. I'm not thinking of the right word. Not a doctrine, but it's just if anything that you try to shove at a child, you rebel. I feel like.
I think so too. I think when I got in college and took some acid, I was like, oh my God, I found the door.
I found a woman God, and she's Jesus and got pretty hair. It's blue like I'm wearing.
I love you. I'm talking to Tatum O'Neal. The movie's called God's Not Dead, A Light in the Darkness, in theaters Friday. You mentioned your mom. She passed away. And I noticed in an interview you talked about, you know what, I wish she wasn't so marginalized. And
right. I realized recently that my mother was thrown away. She was a beautiful actress. She was actually more famous than my dad in the beginning. Did every TV show, was under contract to Hitchcock, was under contract to Universal.
Wow.
But they put her on amphetamines to lose weight. And she got addicted. And it took me all my life, because she lost custody of me, God bless her, when I was 6 years old, and me and my brother. And I just, as I've gotten older, watched how she was literally thrown away like trash. And then as I went through my own addiction and recovery and see the resistance that I get that my male colleagues in Hollywood don't have at all, at all.
No.
Actually, it's kind of like, oh man, are you recovered? Badge of honor. For women, they're
garbage.
And it's for women who are in Hollywood and men. They do this. They shame you. They judge you. They objectify you. And that needs to change. And if I can say something in my little way to kind of, in the Me Too movement, move that needle forward, then I will, because it's wrong.
I 100% agree. Changing the standard.
And the thing is that addiction is not a moral affliction. It is a disease. And America is really addicted right now, and we need to really love these people and help them, and not marginalize all addicts out there who clearly feel that they don't have purpose, that they have nothing to live for, that there's nothing for them, so they take a euphoric feeling drug, and of course it works for the first time, and then the rest of the time you're chasing that first time. But it's an addictive thing, and I think the Sacklers, who made OxyContin, need to put these people in recovery. They're billionaires,
not prison.
And in fact, Nan Golden has started this whole thing against the Sacklers because they have a lot of they've been a lot of Sackler museums, let's say, or rooms in the Met and rooms everywhere. And she started a whole petition, and I thought that was really amazing. And I just think that it's just I'm talented, so to judge me for that or whatever, like, I'm already judged. I've been doing this since I was little. I've been objectified since I was 9, and like.
You have the right to speak on this behalf. That's what you're saying too.
Exactly.
You do. You have the right. Absolutely.
I have the right to speak about it. I have the right to. I'm not an angry person, and I'm not a bitter person. So it's not like, can we curse?
Yes, of course.
I'm like, fuck you, Hollywood. Hollywood birthed me. What can I say?
Right.
But they also should then respect me for whatever I go through and give me and women should just get the second and third chances that Mel and other actors have gotten. Hello.
Is there someone in particular that you can say in the business right now that you've seen go through something similar and go,
like a woman?
Yes. Why isn't she allowed a second chance?
Well, there's so many women but we don't. I don't have a particular woman besides myself.
But let's use Lindsay Lohan for example.
Okay. I think that sometimes, I take personal responsibility for the actions that I take, and I think you have to be really careful. Like I'm very judgmental. I left Hollywood as a kid, like 19, and married John and so on, because I knew that I had to get a life. I knew I had to relearn my craft. So I think we have to be responsible for the choices we make. You can't be crazy and like feel like you're not insurable. At the same time, if she's healthy and people feel that she's disciplined and can make it through a whole film and
ready to work,
right, and ready to do the work, right, then she should absolutely get the chance. I should get the chance. She should get the chance. I think it was like Joey Heatherton. No, Burt Reynolds was married to this awesome blonde lady. I forget her name. Joey was her first name, but she had an addiction problem too. And of course, Burt's still going. And
exactly
where, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so I think there are so many, and I don't have a lot of them off the top of my head, but you don't hear about them because they don't get to work.
When did that window start to come back for you, where you feel like you were let back in?
I'm not sure that I've been let back in. But that doesn't stop me. I have to make a living. There's no, I have to do what I have to do. So
sounds so familiar,
right?
Yes.
We do what we have to do. I mean, I'm nobody's stopping me. I have to make a living, period. So even if I develop my own content and put it out there, which is what I'm doing, I will come in. I will, success is the best revenge, right? So you just keep working and do the best you can, and try not to kind of ruin the currency, which is your name. And I think that's what I would say to Lindsay, is that really be disciplined, really take yourself seriously, and behave yourself, because we're judged in a much harder, like men party and go out and get crazy, and they work and they work and they work. And for girls, even if they're not mothers, oh my goodness. So I don't like that. And I think that's shitty.
I am hoping that with this Me Too movement that things do change dramatically.
They are going to
change.
Just
a moment.
No, they are going to change.
I think
that it does. It's sort of like the Parkland kids. It hasn't stopped, and it needs to grow. That was beautiful. I thought about like the fact that 58 people were shot, and not to disparage any of the people from Vegas and their families, but it's just so interesting that in that moment there wasn't the same putting together of coalitions and so on to go to Washington and make a change and make a difference. So
Right.
maybe it's because they were seniors and they watched their juniors be murdered. And that, I think, was in the way you feel responsible for the kids who are younger than you in school. So I feel like
and I feel like one of the great things I think that have come out about that is where they're learning how to do it right is going to Washington, fighting legislation to make change, not just going out and destroying property. They're going to what
or
you're
suing
supposed to
or
do.
the lawsuits, which they all deserve to have.
Absolutely.
And that was a massacre. There've been 2 massacres in the last 6 months that are beyond our comprehension, and that everything needs to change about that. Everything.
Absolutely. I want to bring up someone that I want to know if was a mentor in your life. Was Cher? I've seen pictures with you with Cher. How was she?
Cher, if she could have been, I did her show when I was 11. And there's some YouTubes out there of me and her singing, and it's hilarious. I look like such a little lesbian. I am hilarious. And I'm positive I was in love with her. I mean, not in a sexual way, but I didn't have a mother in my life, and I didn't have any women except for the revolving door of our house. Like every beautiful woman in Hollywood, like, no, stay, please. No,
Right.
bye. You know, Anuka May and Una Champlin and Ursula Andress and
Wow.
Bianca Jagger and Angelica Houston. I mean, I was like, I love
God.
them all. But when I did the Cher show, I got to know her, and she had this amazing family. She had a mother, Georgianne, and sister, Georgette, and Paulette, who's her best friend, who's still her best friend, who I'm still close with. And I was like, this is my family. And she lived in this huge mansion on Carrollwood. And my dad literally had to extract me from the house. I was like, I'm
No.
not leaving. No, I got to stay there for like a few weeks. And I didn't want to go home. And, we lost touch, and that's cool. I think it's hard for me to be close with women when I was little and grow up, because I think a lot of these like iconic women, that sort of reminds them of age in a way that they don't like.
I get that. And,
I mean,
it's like-
I understand and totally forgive them,
of course. And I love that you are in this place of forgiveness, even
totally.
with your dad. And you can see you're so light. You're so full of light right now.
Thank you.
It's beaming off of you.
Thank
I
you.
want to plug your movie again before you go, and then plug your podcast, which I think is amazing that you're doing.
I know. I do it with my daughter. It's like so fun.
I
It's
love
called
it.
Tatum Verbatim. It had to be taken down, and because I didn't, me and the producer guy of God, I'm not even going to tell you what his is. That was a Me Too thing. And so I'm learning how to do it by myself. And that was what Kevin Smith, I did his podcast to like a week ago. And he was like, listen, I do 6 podcasts a week, and I will teach you how to do this. And then
I'm so glad.
you own your name and everything. So it's just a matter
of time.
of a little bit of time. It'll be up in a month.
So keep your eye out. We have a lot of moms that listen and a lot of who have
And
daughters.
and people in general.
Tatum Verbatim is the name of the podcast. You guys go see the movie God's Not Dead, A Light in Darkness. It's in theaters Friday. Thank you so much. What a pleasure it was to
It
meet
was
you.
super great to meet you. Have a great
Anything
day.
you're doing, you come back here. You got a friend in me.
You got it.
Jenny McCarthy Show. Oh!